national perception of the Philadelphia sports fan is that they are lunatics.
Animalistic freaks that have a jail inside their stadium.
Philadelphia is a blue-collar city. It's a union city. It's a rough-and-tumble city.
The only thing they've cared about since 1776 is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles Nation, baby.
Being raised up in North Philly, you gotta be hard. Whatever we do, we have to work at it 10 times hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the soul of the Eagle fan base, Eagles Charlotte.
I love my team. I ride or die for them. But they got to want to do the same thing for us. They got to want to do the same thing for the fans.
I feel your frustration. 60 years in a slump.
Carson Wentz threw 2 touchdowns. The Eagles beat Washington.
They don't have Wentz, they don't win the game.
Absolutely.
Run the motherfucking ball.
Sink, run it.
Wentz, he's gonna run.
Wentz is out for the season with a torn ACL.
Eagles' Super Bowl dreams ride on their backup quarterback.
Nick Foles is now taking the lead.
They lose one player, and now all of a sudden, they lay down and die.
I believe in my team. It's what happens soon. Every year I believe.
A Super Bowl championship in this town is the holy grail.
If I would have to go, I would want it to be during a game.
Did you ever doubt Rocky? Run it! We're the city of underdogs.
Buckle up. This next 30 minutes is going to be something.
You ride it down with your team all the way or no way. You gotta be an Eagles fan for life. Period.
And welcome again to another Birds Breakdown here at the beautiful Tonic Seafood and Steak. And I tell you, after watching that trailer, I tell you that's almost the epitome of kind of how I feel right now. Just after dealing with everything that we watched yesterday, and now we have to, like it just that how the Philly fan feels.
Yeah.
Now, right now, and it's been, it's
been rough. Philly sports guy, I will say, what's her name? Eagles Carol. I'm not really familiar with her, but she had such a great line. It's like, I'm a ride or die Eagles fan. If you guys can clearly tell, like
Shirley, by the way, that's Shirley.
Sorry, Shirley. We got to respect Shirley. But obviously, the Philly sports guy, he's got the beautiful Randall Cunningham jersey. I got my Eagles gear on. And she said it perfectly. Like, we are ride or die for the Eagles, but at some point, the Eagles got to be ride or die for us the same way we do for them. But it was a rough Sunday afternoon, to say the least. Anytime you lose to division foe, it's rough. But again, like, I felt like we were the better team. We'll dive into it, but this feels like a hangover. It feels like a bad hangover, man.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. And let me just do what I got to do first. Let's do it. Yeah, obviously, we're here at the beautiful Tonic Seafood and Steak, as we are here every Monday. We're doing things virtually today because there was, unfortunately, El Parcero happened to be around a little bit of COVID, and we're just being super cautious. Obviously, he's feeling good. Well, I'm feeling good, but we want to make sure, especially with everything that's going on, everybody's being safe out there, and we want you guys to be safe as well. So, but we're still here at Tonic Seafood and Steak for the time being. And also we're brought to us by Wi-Fi, gluten-free, awesome internet. Philly sports trips. As of right now, we are still going to Dallas. Till they tell us, no, we can't go, I want to be there. And I trust I feel like that might be the last game I get to go to all season long. So if you want to go, that's what you want to get to. You want to definitely make sure to book your trip there. sportstrips.com. And of course, King Creative. Every story has an audience. Let the Blue Lion tell yours. I tell you, getting right down to it, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off. I don't ever let games get to me. I'm one of those guys that, like, when we lose, I can shake it off. Really simple, just because listen, they don't pay me to be a fan, and those guys get paid a lot of money. But when I am, when I see a team that is this uninspired, they were uninspired. They came out of the bye. I figured that they were going to be able to put it together. This was going to be the time where we were going to right the wrongs and start moving forward for the rest of the season. The rest of our season is difficult here. And now we got to sit here and swallow this jagged pill. It's not a jagged little pill. This is a big horse pill, jagged horse pill that we got to swallow. That the team put out for us. And I tell you, I get unhappy when I'm the voice of reason, when I feel like I'm the voice of reason on how they play, that I bring so much passion and energy every week. I bring it every play of every game all day when it's Eagles Day. And when I watch them not do that, that bothers me. That really, really bothers me.
I have to agree.
And I'm frustrated. I'm very, very frustrated.
I 100% agree. And Philly Sports Guy, you have every right to feel the way you do right now. Like, look, we dedicate and we put so much time into this team. Like, literally, the Eagles, we surround our whole entire week around the Eagles. 365, 24/7. We surround ourselves with this freaking team, right? And it's just like, number one, like, Philly Sports Guy, why is it that Doug can't ever come out of a bye and be and play inspired football with this team? Like, do you remember all those years with Andy Reid? You knew we're going into the bye week. If we got injuries, we'll get healthy. But you knew that Andy Reid Eagles team was going to come out that bye and they were going to fix things, and they usually play better than what they did before the bye. But this Doug Peterson team does not ever look inspired after bye weeks. 1-4. I'm sorry. No, 1-3 now in bye weeks. Like, that's not going to cut it. Like, you got to take
Andy Reid lost one bye week, and that was the last season. The very last season he was there. One bye week is the only season he lost. Every other bye week he won that game. Every other.
Exactly. And for whatever reason, Doug can't figure it out. And, when I look at yesterday, Doug Peterson, this whole coaching staff got outcoached. We did not look prepared to play the New York Giants. The New York Giants over the past 3 weeks, including yesterday, seem to play inspired football, and they seem to start figuring it out. And I can't help but think that we still have better talent than the Giants for us to put up that performance. Straight up, I really do believe we on paper have more talent, but we shot ourselves more times in our foot than the Giants did yesterday. And the Giants didn't even make crazy adjustments. The Giants just knew how to attack us, and it worked. We're going to discuss everything that went down. There was a lot to talk about. Every week, you and I come on here and, we try to justify what's going on. We try to point fingers. But, someone's got to take a deep, deep look into the mirror. And I think it starts with one guy and one guy only, Doug EP.
Well, absolutely. So I listened to his. Of course, I start off my Monday mornings with the podcast. I start off listening to him on WIP, and it was funny because they asked the question of the day: who was the reason why that they lost this game? And coaching was the reason. And then they're like welcoming Doug Peterson, and he's like, "Can I?" I fulfilled my commitment by saying hello to you. I could get off right now. And he was so angry and animated about being angry, which he needed to be. I don't care if it was staged or not. You needed to show that a little bit. You needed to show some fire, because there was no fire shown yesterday. None at all. I tell you, I was more fired up than I feel like all of that team. That fourth and one, actually, because they could have got the first down and still had a first and goal, where that guy dove. He flew into the end zone. Touched him. Yeah, I mean, come on. Fletcher Cox couldn't even stand up. He couldn't even stand up. He's the biggest man on the field, and he couldn't stand up. Couldn't stop that. That uninspired.
Absolutely.
And that is a culture problem now. That becomes a culture issue. And I have a problem when it's a culture problem, because when it's anything else, people not doing the right job, youth, when you got rookies making rookie mistakes and stuff like that, all that stuff is acceptable and understandable and coachable. But when it's a culture problem, when people quit on the play, when people quit on the team, I have a problem with that. And I feel like that some of our biggest leaders had really bad days yesterday. Now, I don't think Kelsey is a guy who quits.
No.
Kelsey had a bad day. I think that Kelsey had a really bad day. And because of that, the line had a bad day. But ultimately, I felt that the defensive line quit yesterday. And I was listening to Brandon Graham. And when Brandon Graham says, "Oh no, well, we didn't quit yet. Well, we didn't quit." And I'm like, you know what? When you have to explain yourself, to that degree, that means somebody did quit. Yeah. And I want to know why they're not up their ass trying to say, why are you acting this way? You guys are supposed to be a leader on this team. And why is it that they had their way with us? They had their way with us. And that's a problem. That's an issue.
Yeah.
It's a culture problem. That is definitely a culture problem. And that starts, I think that starts all the way up from Jim Schwartz on down. And I've had a problem, we've talked about Jim Schwartz a couple of times so far this season. And, I've given him more of the pass, in the last few weeks. But why is it that when the offense seems to do okay, the defense can't? And when the defense seems to do okay, the offense can't?
Literally.
We only scored 17 points last night. 17 points against the Giants.
Oh, God, yeah. Literally. And a couple things here. So, for me, you brought up Doug Peterson. To me, at this point, Philly sports guy, I take it as arrogance. Like, Doug is spewing arrogance to me, and I don't know why he is. A lot of what's going on, he's in charge of it. He's the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. When something goes wrong, you have to answer because you are in charge of what happens with this football team. And for Doug to just, every time he's up in a press conference and he gives this it's partially arrogance, but these angry answers. Dude, you're the one who's being put on the spotlight right now because this team is not playing to their full capability. And when you answer questions, so the perfect example is the whole Brett Favre situation. When they ask him, what is his thoughts on what Brett Favre has to say? And not the first thing he doesn't say is that, listen, Carson Wentz is our guy. That's what you start off by saying. Carson Wentz is our guy, but I respect Brett Favre's opinion. He should respect Brett Favre's opinion. Brett Favre has every right to feel. If Brett Favre feels that Nick Foles should be here over Carson Wentz, that's his opinion, and he has every right to feel that. But as the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, you need to stick up for every single one of your guys. And let's face it, Doug has not put Carson and this offense in the best situations to succeed. We can all agree on that. So I think Doug needs to really take a deep look into the mirror. And I talked about this last year. If you guys follow me on YouTube, I said this after I believe it was the Miami game, after that embarrassing loss down in South Beach. I said it. Doug needs to take a deep dive, a deep look into himself in the mirror because some of the issues that are going on with the teams, the same issues that we're having right now. The problem is we're having it too early. Last year it happened end of November. This year this started happening at the end of September, October. That's not good. That is not good whatsoever. And when I watch Carson Wentz in the press conference, Philly sports guy, and he's telling me the same things every single week. I got to do better.
I've started to think about that as you mentioned that, where, and I watch the press conferences and I don't expect him to say anything anymore on there. He keeps saying the same things over and over again because he doesn't have an answer is the problem. He doesn't have an answer. He doesn't know why when things are happening so well in practice, but yet they can't seem to get anything going beyond that. That's part of the issue and the problem that's happening here. That this is, and I'm seeing a couple of messages here. Hey, it starts with Howie. Actually, this was not a Howie loss. This loss was not a Howie loss. we had the right people on the field. We had people come back. We had people learning, and doing the right things. And this wasn't on Howie. This loss wasn't on Howie. This team put together should win, and they're not.
Beat the Giants, the 2-7 Giants. Like, we should not be blaming. Listen, Howie deserves criticism for what he's done. I get that, but yesterday you should beat that team.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to say here. You
Yeah.
should not be losing 27-17 to the New York Giants. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you shouldn't.
Hey, listen, it was the second game that Pick Six Daniel Jones has won against anybody other than the Washington football team. He's 4-0 against the Washington football team. He was 1-16 up until yesterday with the rest of the NFL. Now he's 2-16.
You want to know something, Philly sports guy? And I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. Daniel Jones has been improving this year. And I will say one thing that Daniel Jones has that he didn't have last year. He has a formidable offensive coordinator. We can all say and talk all the crap we want on Jason Garrett. Listen, I know Jason Garrett likes to do this a lot. I get that. But Jason Garrett has been in this league long enough. Jason Garrett.
He's a good offensive coordinator.
Exactly. Howie, Doug, please, for the love of Christ himself, God, go out and get yourself an offensive coordinator. Go get someone who's creative, someone who Carson can go directly to, and they can discuss what's going on the field. I'm tired of Carson answering to 6 different coaches. Howie, Doug, go into the college landscape. Go find the Oklahoma offensive coordinator. Go find some Big 12, someone who is creative, who can get the most out of this offense, and bring them in here. You and I constantly keep talking about Matt Rule in Carolina. Joe Brady, who is the offensive coordinator at LSU, is doing a fantastic job with what he has right now with Carolina, in my honest opinion. Go out and get an offensive coordinator. You're seeing the development of Daniel Jones right now. He's going to be a good quarterback. I believe he will be a good quarterback. Carson needs that stability in the coaching right now. Go get an offensive coordinator. Stop with this.
I agree with that. I agree that they definitely, first off, Marty Mornhinweg, get rid of him. I'm not a Marty Mornhinweg fan. I was never a Marty Mornhinweg fan.
And that's another one.
He's like him, and this whole assistant head coach of Deuce Staley. First off, I don't feel like that they're even doing right by the running game. Like they're getting runs together, but why is it that we can't run the ball? Why is it we can't do what we do best? Ground and pound is how we win games. That's how we're going to ever win games right now, because the offensive line pushing forward is what we do best right now.
Miles Sanders yesterday was almost averaging 10 yards a pop. Dude, what? You rushed for 156 yards on the ground? Dude, come on.
And he was talking about how they had 50-50 run to pass plays. And the only reason why they had 50-50 run to pass plays was because of different screen passes that they considered runs than passes. It had nothing to do with that. They had definitely more pass plays than runs.
But wouldn't you agree, though, that, look, the offense is what it is right now. It's not a dangerous offense. And yesterday, the offense wasn't moving as much as it should have. Wouldn't you just run the ball until the Giants prove to you that they can't stop it? I get it. We've been beaten to the ground. We need a power back. But Miles Sanders was effective yesterday. Boston Scott has proven that he destroys the New York Giants.
3 runs. The longest play in the entire game. Why not give it back to him a couple of more times? Why not give it a shot? Why not try? But no. Doug, it's time for you to look in the mirror.
Yes.
You got a big head, which means you got lots of brains. All right. I know that you got it in there. I know that you know what the hell's going on. You got to be able to think a little bit better than what you're doing. I don't know what you got going on. And stop with the 2-point conversions. I don't care what that sheet says anymore. It's time for you to get the points on the board. We're not a good enough team to be scoring 2 points after every touchdown.
Yes.
And we're not a high school team that can kick onside kicks and go for 2 points conversions on every play. All right. It's time to grow up and time to be a big boy and actually start to do things the NFL way, not the way you think might win games better because we ain't winning games. We're 3-5-1 now. 3-5-1.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Can I ask you something? So yesterday, the running game was working effectively. How many times was Carson Wentz outside the pocket rolling out for a pass?
Well, I know these stats because you were listening at the same time I was. It was the 7 minutes and 37 seconds left in the third quarter before the first time he rolled out. They rolled him out twice. They got 40 yards in those two plays, and that was the last two times they rolled him out. The last two times they rolled him out. I mean, really?
Why are we trying to make Carson into a system QB? Like, Carson's not the type, okay, 3-step drop, hit that read, 5-step drop, hit him in the post. Like, that's not Carson. Carson has a beautiful skill set that can win in the NFL. He's got this instinct in him, and you are not taking advantage of it. You're not.
No. And like I said, it's becoming a culture problem. It's becoming a culture problem.
People in the locker room are getting frustrated over this crap.
But the fan base is incredibly frustrated over this crap. You know what I mean? This is because it's crap that they're putting on the field. When I start coaching the team better than the people that are getting paid to coach the team, that's a problem. When I see things that are happening on the field and they don't make the adjustments, I don't get paid to even coach a little bit. I just watch as a fan. And yesterday I was watching on a TV that I could barely see, and I could see certain things that were having the bigger problems that were happening on the field. And as much as I wanted to try to turn it around, as much they came out of the second half a little bit more inspired, a little bit more ready to go. And all of a sudden it couldn't happen, couldn't do it any more than that. It is very, very frustrating, and it's ridiculous to feel that it is this way. It should not be this way whatsoever, and something's got to change. I'm figuring they need they always seem to play their best, most inspired football when their backs are up against the wall, and I'm interested to see how much inspired they're going to come out next Sunday.
We're going to learn a lot about this team in these next 5 games. I'm saying in the next 5 games, we're going to learn a lot about this team because you're facing off against 5 playoff caliber clubs.
Yes.
We'll learn a lot about this Eagles team.
Every team that we play is above 500. Every team. Now, so if we put out the type of, thing that we did yesterday, we're not going to beat any one of them, starting with the Cleveland Browns. I didn't.
This fan base doesn't believe this team to win a game for the rest of the year. This fan base does not believe in this team to win another game for the rest of the year. So, prove us something, Eagles. Prove us something.
Well, yeah, and that's where the dogs start to come out to play. That's when the dogs come out to play. You know what I mean? So I get it a little bit. It's interesting that we're going into the dog pounds. To try to start this whole process. Because listen, I'm never a hater, and I don't boo. I will always. I don't talk bad about the family. You know what I mean? This is my family. You know what I mean? This is who I love. And hey, listen, it's always challenging. Hey, listen, I get tons of hate on a lot of different areas where I get people telling me all the time, "Oh, your team sucks. It's trash. Yeah, it's all crap. Blah blah blah." All the Yinzers love coming at me. I got a Yinzer over here who's a Steelers fan. He's over here watching me do the show. A Pittsburgh Steelers fan saying that he's 9-0 over there. So I got it all over the place, and I'm still. Hey, listen, I'm going to love my team because I love my team, but that doesn't mean I don't get to give them tough love either. Because his team needs it now. This team needs it. I listened to Brandon Graham on the way in here today, and he's talking about how the team didn't quit yet and how everybody takes these losses in different ways. You got Kelsey saying, "Hey, we just got to pull together. We know what we're doing here. We got to do it," but they're not doing it. They are not doing it, and that bothers me in a lot of ways. It bothers me in a tremendous amount of ways, and I don't get angry about these losses. Losses are losses. I don't get paid. I don't get paid to care about this. But when I start to care like this, that's a problem. That means they are doing things so wrong that it's a culture issue. That it's a culture problem. There's something going on in the locker room. There's something going on with Carson that is affecting him that has nothing to do with football anymore. It has nothing to do with football. There's something happening here that has to get fixed or resolved in a much better way.
Yeah, I think he's just frustrated, to be honest. I just think that this is the frustration of the offense not performing the way it is. I feel like I think he feels like the play calling is not being used to his best ability. But I wanted to, talk about the receiving core. Now, I saw a lot of things. Obviously, Fulgham, he had 1 catch off 5 targets. I felt like 2 of his drops he could have caught, but obviously wasn't what we're used to with Fulgham thus far in the season. With Dallas Goedert, his first game back, I think he still had to ease in a little bit. Richard Rodgers seems to be a nice security blanket for Carson Wentz. I'm loving the effort I'm seeing from Richard Rodgers. Jalen Reagor looks solid with his 4 catches, but
and I didn't do as much research today. I was so frustrated and angry. And
I hear you. No, I hear you.
Well, how old is Richard Rodgers?
He's got to be close to 30. He's been in the league for a minute now, and obviously he was with Rodgers.
As of right this second, he's the best tight end we've got. And the fact that they took him off the field, that was another thing that just, oh my God. Hold on. Carson started getting a little bit of a rhythm. Hold on. Let's throw in Hurts and do that ridiculous play.
Oh, my God. I'm over the Hurts. I'm so over it. Stop it. People know what's happening. People know it's just going to be some stupid read option or you're just going to hand it off or Jalen's. There's no, surprise element when you put Jalen Hurts in the ballgame. I'm done with it.
He almost fumbled the ball. That's when that play was so ridiculous. And hold on. Carson Wentz is finally getting a little bit of rhythm. Let's take him out and put Hurts in.
You killed the rhythm of the offense.
That bothered me to no end. No end. Come on now.
Well,
are you that insecure? Is that what it is? Because that's what I feel like. It's an insecurity point.
They think that because that pick when they drafted Jalen Hurts got so much criticism, they want to prove everyone wrong. Like, we did the right thing here by drafting him. He's going to be the next Taysom Hill. But let me tell you something. Taysom Hill can do everything. Taysom Hill can actually throw the football. We don't know if Jalen can throw the football in the NFL. We saw it in college, but this is the NFL. We've seen Taysom Hill run the ball. We've seen Taysom Hill catch the ball. We've seen Taysom Hill play special teams. We have never seen Jalen Hurts do any of that to the full capability Taysom Hill could do. So stop trying to feed us this Jalen Hurts bullcrap. Just freaking go with the flow of the offense. Like the Philly sports guy just said, the Eagles offense had a flow going. Carson Wentz had the flow going with the offense. Why are you bringing in Jalen Hurts? Why?
I agree.
Stop trying to outscore everyone.
It bothers me. Again, I see people saying it's Howie. This wasn't Howie. Howie doesn't put Hurts into the game. Howie doesn't stop the momentum to then put Hurts in. This is a coaching problem. That's a coaching issue. So when you're saying that it's Howie, and Nathan or David, when you're saying it's Howie, it's not. It's not Howie. This is a coaching issue. It's a coaching problem.
Well, I think the fans are just frustrated because Howie made the pick. And I think fans are just frustrated the fact that he is here. Listen, I'm frustrated that we drafted him. I've seen so many players that the Eagles could have had instead of Jalen Hurts that are playing better, and I get it. But like the Philly sports guy said, Howie Roseman does not put Jalen Hurts into the game. He doesn't. Right. So it's just so frustrating. What was your thought on Alshon Jeffrey back in his first game?
You know what, exactly how I thought it should have been. That he should never have played another game in an Eagles uniform. That he should. You know what? I keep calling and screaming and crying for Quez Watkins to get on the field. Why can't we put this kid on the field? But somehow, someway, this entire coaching staff is so much smarter than I am. That they got the second round pick set as a healthy scratch. J.J. Ortega-Whiteside is a healthy scratch, yet Quez Watkins, the fastest guy on the team, can't dress. Are we who am I kidding? Who are we kidding here? What is the problem?
It just goes back, Philly sports guy, to the Eagles, and they just they catch feelings too hard. Like, they don't know how to just say goodbye to a player. It's the same reason why Alshon's still on this team. Same reason why Corey Clement's still on the team, even though he got a touchdown. Same reason why Jason Peters is still on this team. Like, why are these certain players, why can't we just move on from them? Why can't we just find the next Alshon? Why can't we find the next Jason Peters? That's the frustrating part. Like, I feel like us as a fan base, the Eagles as a whole, we're still in this 2017 mode. Like, we're still like looking at 2017. And what was the quote that Jason Kelsey said in the Super Bowl speech? Hungry dogs run faster. I don't feel hunger from this team. I'm going to be completely brutally honest with you. I don't feel the hunger. I don't hear the growls from the stomach. I don't think these are hungry dogs.
Uninspired. Yeah. That's what it is. I said it this morning. I'm like, this team is uninspired, and it's nothing but uninspiration. When I feel like that I'm bringing it more than everybody else on that field, there's a problem. There is a problem. And it's, if it's going to get any better, they better start quick.
Yeah.
And like, I was listening, and it's funny because it was a hockey guy. It was a hockey guy that was talking some sense today on WIP. Keith Jones, the ex-Flyer, talking about how when a coach is this embarrassed that they put on the pads and they beat the hell out of each other, that is your punishment. You have to beat each other and beat each other and beat each other with these pads on, because that's the only way that I can get back at you for embarrassing me. You embarrassed me. You embarrassed my team. You embarrassed my city by having that type of experience. And it's not about the name on the back of the jersey. It's about the emblem on the front of the jersey. And that's what I care about. Every one of these guys could go, and I could care less, because I'm still going to be an Eagles fan.
We'll have new players tomorrow.
The fact that they could not do that angers me to no end, because that's all I got. This is what I do every Sunday, and I got to deal with it all week long. They can turn off the radio. I can't turn off my social media, because that's all I got going on for me. You know what I mean? I support my team, come high or come low, and I deal with the hate. And I deal with the questions, and I deal with the people saying, well, your team sucks and your team's trash. Well, you guys are getting paid for it. I don't get paid for it. You know what? And when you guys put up that type of pathetic performance, I can call you out on it, because it's my job to do so. That's what I'm here to do, to make sure that you guys know that you guys sucked. You guys sucked, and you guys have to do a much better, because I know you guys are a much better team. And that's what makes me so infuriated.
Absolutely. Well, let's switch to the other side of the ball. What did you see defensively? Why did this Daniel Jones just destroy us?
Yeah, I felt that was coaching. I felt that it was coaching. This guy's a Philly guy. You know what I mean? And he took a Philly approach to this game. He didn't put Daniel Jones in a bad spot. And we may even have, like, I'm going to let Sneaky G come on here.
Hey, let's go.
You know what I mean? It's going to probably be a minute or so, but I'm going to let him come on, and I want to hear what he's got to say about this, because I could take my beatings. I made a bet with him. I'm going to have to wear a Sneaky G shirt for one of our shows. You know what I mean? I'm going to definitely do that. But they didn't do anything special. They didn't do anything different, even against Washington. It was straight doing the same exact thing that they did 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago. We have beaten this team 8 games straight. And eventually we were going to lose to them. You know what I mean? But it didn't need to be yesterday.
Agreed. 100%. Again, like I always feel like we have more talent than the New York Giants. We do. We absolutely, from every position, offense, defense, even special teams, we have a better team than the New York Giants. And flat out, the Giants were hungry. They were hungrier. They did not want to go 9 straight times losing to the Philadelphia Eagles at home. Like, they did not want to do that. And they played prepared. And you know what else, too, Philly sports guy? They shot themselves in the foot, too. We had opportunities to win this game, but we didn't take advantage of it.
Yeah, lots of opportunities to win this game. Yes, lots of opportunities to win this game, and they didn't. and they did it. They didn't take the bull by the horns. And all the different times, of course, there was no turnovers in this game. 0 turnovers, which, all right, we said we needed him to play a clean game, and he played a clean game.
We did have penalties, I believe. I think
11 penalties. 11 penalties. And stupid ones. At the end of the game, with 51 seconds left, and you get that 15-yard ridiculous penalty. Like, first off, it was a Fugazi penalty in the first place. You know what I mean? They don't ever call that penalty. So the referees decided they wanted to end the game right then and there. That's what that was. But it was a Fugazi penalty. But even still, it was, what are you doing? You're just about to get the ball back. But nope, we're going to make sure that they get to win the game. It was bad. Wide receivers doing all false starts. Are we kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like that? 0 for 9 on third down.
We didn't even talk about that. I completely forgot about that.
0 for 9 on third down. The first 3 third downs were 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 1. I watched the entire game again yesterday. I watched it at 8 o'clock at night. I didn't even watch the 8 o'clock game. I watched the entire Eagles game again, just because I couldn't believe what it was that I was watching. And it just angered me even more. But
it's crazy too. Like, Doug is such a 4-down guy, right? He loves to go for it on 4th down. So why are we on 3rd down, 3rd and 10, 3rd and long, whatever it is? Why are you going for the 1st down? If you always want to go for it on 4th down, why not just get a chunk play on 3rd down? Set yourself up for 4th and 7, 4th and 5, or whatever. That's obviously much more attainable to do than 4th and 10. Why are we going for the home run on 3rd and 10? Like, that's another issue as well. It's like you're calling the wrong play in the wrong situation.
All the time.
It's just all the time. But going 0 for have we ever done that? Have we ever never?
No, in 2004 we did it. We did it against
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think it was against Pittsburgh.
They killed us again that year.
And I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure it's happened before. They only kept. I think it's only happened twice since they started keeping the stat. So I think it was like 93 or 94. Like during that season, like the first year of Ray Rhodes.
Yeah.
They went 0 for 3rd down.
I was just unbelievable. I couldn't believe we did that. Like, you didn't even convert one.
Yeah, and it was
3rd down.
And such bad play calls. Like 3rd and 1. Why
are you passing it?
Why not sneak? We do so well against the sneak, against it with our offensive line as strong as it is. Let's not do that. Let's pass it because that's the smarter play. Let's do that.
Let me ask you something. I've been begging for a power back. You know who's a free agent right now?
No.
Jordan Howard.
Yeah, but you know what? Why bring him if we're not going to use him?
I agree. I know.
Bring him if we're not going to use him. We got Corey Clement. You know what? Corey Clement yesterday showed one run, 5 yards, touchdown. Carried guys in with him. Doesn't matter. We didn't use him. That was it. One play. Hey, Boston Scott. Hold on. He got one play for 56 yards. Let's use him only 2 more times. That's it.
He kills the Giants. Like, how do you not realize that? Notoriously, the 3 times that New York Giants, he has destroyed them. Why aren't you going to Boston Scott more?
Even if we did the old wishbone where we had both of our running backs out there, it's like, come on. Like, we could – a college plays would have beaten this defense.
Or even line him up as a receiver.
The same guy who's been let's keep going after Rager, because obviously they got their best defenseman and defensive back on him, and what he kept making play after play after play after play. Oh well, maybe we should go away from him. Maybe we should make an adjustment. But no, that didn't work that way. Oh man.
It's frustrating. It's absolutely frustrating.
Very frustrating. Very frustrating. Especially you got Boston Scott. The last 3 games that we've played, Boston Scott's gone crazy on them. Crazy. And yet we didn't have one screen pass to him. Not nothing. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand. Hold on. Oh, actually, we did have one screen pass to Boston Scott. That went for 11 yards. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
But even so, like, why not even like line these guys up as receivers? Because listen, Boston and Miles can both run routes, and it gives you a different dimension. Like, do something different, just something. Put these guys in the best situations.
Yeah, and this is where the whole coaching staff's got to look in the mirror. And I'd say, I'll be surprised if Jim Schwartz makes it. I don't care if we make it to the Super Bowl. If they were to get all the way to the Super Bowl, I don't want to see Jim Schwartz back. I do not want to see Jim Schwartz back.
I think we need boys too.
It's time to see him go. It's time to see him disappear. I'm so done with this defense. I'm ready to move on in such a way. Like, yeah, I understand our front four can probably get.
But that kills me, Philly sports guy. Why is it that the Giants won the battle at the line of scrimmage? That offensive line is not good. That offensive line is not good, and they had more push in that entire game. And it's crazy because like I went into the game.
4th and 1 on the 2 is the play that showed that. The 4th and 1 on the 2 was the play that showed that.
But I went into this game thinking like, I was just worried about the offense. Like I went into the game, I'm like, what is this offense going to give me? I need this offense to do something. And then the defense lets up. I didn't even see that coming anyway. And then we started off the game with a nice sack. Derek Burnett gets into Daniel Jones, and I'm like, okay, all right, this is we got this game. We got this game. And then they move down the field, and Daniel Jones goes on for like that 30-yard touchdown, whatever it was. And then it's just like, you know, one thing after another. Why can't anyone besides Darius Slay? Darius Slay hasn't had the opportunity to get an interception because he's doing a hell of a job of covering. But why can't these guys intercept balls? Like Nickel Roby-Coleman had the ball in his breadbasket. My guy, Nelson Aguilar had more hands than Nickel Roby-Coleman. Like no one can get a turnover on this defense. Why?
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. And I'm going to introduce him. He's coming on the show right now.
The man himself.
What is going on?
Hey, Philly sports guy. First off, listen. We might be from Philly, but we have respect. We got to congratulate him. Congratulations on the win. You snapped the losing streak. You guys did good. We give you credit where it's due, my man.
Thank you so much, Philly sports guy. Thanks for having me on your show. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Hope. My name is Stephen, aka Sticky G Dad. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing today?
Yeah, we're surviving. We're trying to survive.
I'm about to say, y'all, like I asked, I can talk to Philly sports guy. Said, you guys on suicide watch or anything? Hold on, let me get this.
Oh man,
I had to make sure that was. So check this out. First,
he never takes his stickers off his hat either.
I don't. I don't know. I don't know why that is. Yeah.
We used to do that. We used to keep the stickers on the flat brims. I remember doing that too.
All my hats. If they fall off, they fall off.
Yeah, exactly.
But other than that, I keep them on. So
I went on just to give everybody a heads up. I called him up yesterday and I said, listen, I'm still painted up. I am willing to come on your show right now and give my congratulations to you because I'm a man. I can take my beating when I can. And listen, if I was in this game, we'd have played a lot better. But I wasn't. I was not in this game.
I actually, before I came on, I heard you guys talking about the Daniel Jones run, and I just want to put the rest that trip. I mean, I just like that 80-yard run. They still scored on the drive. Let's just now he finished it, and now we could call it like it is. He got the touchdown. So now let's move on. And I'll even say this. Although it would have been nice if Ingram would have caught that ball. I'm gonna.
You looked good yesterday.
I'm gonna let it go for now. I mean, I'm still over it. I'm okay. I say I'm over it, but I'm not. But I'm gonna get over it. So there's that.
I didn't even realize Daniel Jones was that fast. Like, did he always have these wheels?
And when he was with Duke, yeah. If you look it up on YouTube, I'm not gonna lie. When he got drafted, someone had mentioned to me, they're like, "Don't be surprised if they go quarterback." Now they're not affiliated. Person that told me this has nothing to do with the Giants, but they're like, "Don't be surprised." And I was wanting them to go Giants, not Giants, go defense. But they went Jones, and then of course I YouTubed the shit out of him. Oh, I'm sorry, no cussing.
I let it slide.
Okay, well I YouTubed the crap out of him, and yeah, he was a stud in Duke, and for what he had around him, he was still good. He was still relevant, made the team relevant, and yeah, he was always that fast.
So I tell you what,
and then he showed it when he played against Tampa. When they took his first start.
Oh, man's got some speed.
So it was against Tampa that they scored the 20-point. He came back from 20-point deficit to win that game.
Yeah, the missed field goal.
The second game that he's won in the NFL outside of Washington.
Yes.
Washington, he's 4-0. Everybody, the rest of the NFL, he was 1-16 until yesterday.
Yeah. And we're, as Giants, we're basically, what was it? It was 90 and 75 since 2017 anyway. So yeah, we got a long way to go. So but I'm gonna accept this win. I'm glad we got it before the bye. And hopefully we can make stuff happen.
Dude, you have a chance for a division now.
I know. I'm really hoping that, so when we beat Washington, I've been saying, I'm like, I hope we could carry over that momentum into the Philly game. And we did. Jones didn't fumble. He didn't throw any picks. Well, and neither did Wentz. He played a pretty spot on game. And the defense, I just can't talk enough about the defense. They made the plays that need to be made, and they kept us in the game, and they actually kept us in the lead. So, I'm all around, I'm happy.
Well, and one of the things that you said, what we talked about on a show earlier in the week, was that you thought that they could run. If the Giants could run the ball a little bit, that they had a chance to win. And I said, no, that there's no chance of you guys running the ball. And you guys ran for 150 yards on us, which is, when Jones is your best rusher, he had 61 yards on 9 and 10. But obviously it was like 2 of those runs were the touchdowns, obviously. So
right.
Big deal, you know what I mean? Or at least the one was. The other one, he got down to the 1 yard line, and Solomon actually flew into the end zone.
Right, yeah.
And I feel like that was, when I watched the game again, because after your show, I got all the makeup. And I did watch the game again. I felt like that our defensive line just quit on that play. When somebody is flying over that high, like I said, literally all it took was somebody to just stand up and stop him. He's not that big of a guy, you know what I mean? So
yeah. I'm trying to fix mine.
Very good.
Yeah.
Goldman really stepped up, though. Like, I just remember watching him in the national championship when he was with Clemson, and then he gets drafted by the Giants, obviously, with Saquon Barkley there. The spotlight's all on Saquon. But next year, you go in with Saquon and Goldman. That's a nice back.
Yeah. And, I'm a little – I don't know if I should be upset about Freeman or their lack thereof. But, injuries happen. And I just don't remember Freeman being injury prone when he was with Atlanta. And with Goldman stepping up, and even Morris.
Where did he come from? I thought he was out the league.
Yeah, you know what? I don't care where he came from. I'm glad he's still playing. And if you guys remember, too, with Morris, he was on that Pimp My Ride show. Where he had that old car, and he was like, I'm keeping this. This is my baby. And they pimped it out. They made it look a little bit better. And I tell you what, he's pimping out our running game. So I'm happy. I am not complaining.
Well, and he's an NFC East guy. So he's been playing against the NFC East his entire career. So he knows how these guys are. And Morris has actually traditionally been a guy who's beaten us. Even when he was with Washington, he's traditionally beaten us. So that wasn't a surprise to see him actually run a little bit. But I tell you, it was very frustrating to watch on my side and it was even more frustrating to watch a second time around. So
Right.
and talk a little bit about your coaching staff moving forward here. Like obviously he's a Philly guy, so I'm gonna keep the Philly flair on this show because I keep losing people right now. Everybody's dropping off because you're getting to talk all your talk here. So let's keep it Philly here. I went from 25 people watching down to 4. So obviously, I'm going to give you I'm going to give you a little bit more time to talk about your coaching staff right now and what the head coach has done so far coming into New York.
Well, you mean with Judd?
Yes.
Well, so I will say about Judd, and then we'll get into Garrett, and then also talk about Graham a little bit. I just love Jared's philosophy that he put together. Nolan and Belichick, not Nolan, Saban. I'm sorry, Saban and Belichick. He put that philosophy together. The team is starting to believe in him, and that is a head coaching wise. And his evaluation of players. I mean, of course, you can't really see it, but I mean, just the way that the players are coming together now, and the way that he's enforcing the fact that we can, to believe in what we can do as a team. Now, with the defensive side of the house, I'm going to be honest. I'm not even going to say the defensive coordinator's name from last year because his scheme and his philosophy was unrealistic. But Graham is putting together a solid team, or a solid defense. And with the pickup, I mean, of course, when you have Bradbury, Logan, Martinez, and
Julius, what's his name? Not Julius.
Flackwell. When those guys come together, the additions of the free agency market, I mean, that just upgraded our defense, and it took a while for us to gel. I mean, it showed in the San Francisco game. It took a minute, right? Because if you look at it, we've been in every single game except for that one. Now, as far as Garrett, even before he was a head coach with Dallas, when he was an offensive coordinator, he had that top 10 offense.
Right.
Regardless.
That's what we were talking about a little earlier, that he's a great offensive coordinator. Not the best head coach, but a good offensive coordinator.
I will say yes and no about the head coach because you got to remember who the owner is. And that could be considered as a handicap as well because you could be held back and not being able to do what you can do. And I think McCarthy is kind of figuring that out right now. But as Garrett being a coordinator, he's perfect for Jones. And now our players on the offensive side of the ball, we got to execute. Like, for example, the drop pass with Ingram. We just got to execute the plan and make things happen.
I tell you, I don't know. El Parcero, do you have any more questions for him? Because I'm going to kick him off my show now. He's got enough gloating here. I was able to do enough for him.
All right. So, looking to the future, what do you see this Giants team being? Like, do you see like this could potentially be a Super Bowl team down the line?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, what am I say? No, not at all.
No, well, I mean,
we're gonna be in the top 5 of
no bias here.
I see a team that has potential. I see a team that has unlimited potential. With what we have, Jones. I'm a believer in Jones. I'm a believer in Judd, and I'm a believer of the Giants organization. And even Gettleman. I'm going to give Gettleman his props. Not for how I'm going to give him his props is how he did this last draft. How we picked up an offensive lineman and McKinney. That's huge. Yeah. And then we got a linebacker from Penn State and another offensive lineman. I mean, the fact that he's protecting our prize product, which is Jones and Saquon, and also preparing the defense and stacking up the defense. I'll give him his props on that.
I will say you guys have 2 pieces, right? So I think Daniel Jones is a legit franchise quarterback. I will say that. I think Judge is right for what you guys needed. For me, I felt like you guys had talent. I felt like culture was an issue. Like, when you had Odell Beckham, and who's obviously a talented as player,
right.
But I felt like the locker room culture was not there yet. And everyone remembers the Trey Songz boat picture from the play.
Right.
Like, that's what I remember the Giants before this era here. I feel like now you guys are starting to get some discipline. I am a firm believer that in the NFL, no matter what era it is, whether you're talking the 60s or whether you're talking the 2020s, you still got to win in the trenches. And you guys won the game in the trenches, in my opinion, yesterday. So if you guys can build that up, I think that I'm gonna be worried. I'm definitely gonna be worried. Obviously, Saquon is still there. Goldman seems to be a legit, it's 1-2 punch when Saquon comes back.
Right.
I think you still need some receivers. I think Slayton is perfect for he's a security blanket for Daniel Jones, but I still think you need some other receivers. So I will say that I'm a little worried about the Giants, but we'll see what they can do in the next couple of years. You got a good team there.
You're right. Now, the receiving core, Slayton, I think is great, but we do need that number one receiver, Beckham-like, if you will. There's a gentleman, is it Chase? Something Chase?
Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
Jamar
somebody brought to my
Chase.
attention about him, and I looked him up a little bit. I mean, that'd be a nice pickup.
He was the best receiver of that LSU team last year, and you guys know what the LSU team was.
Yeah. And you know what? And I'm going to say this to your Philly fans, and it's actually I'm giving you guys a compliment. And no Philly sports guy is not paying me for this. And hopefully, hold on a second. Are you guys serious? You gotta love it. It's live, right? You gotta love it.
It's all good. We're dog people here,
right? And I got a little shit poo. I just had to say that because I just like saying shit poo.
He just wants the curse.
Yeah. We have a black dog named Blue. Go figure, right? So I actually came across a radio interview, 94 WIP. I don't know if you guys...
WIP, yeah.
WIP.
WIP, yes. WIP. They had Doug Peterson on, and apparently the fan base said that 72% of the loss was due to coaching. And
then they introduced Doug Peterson.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now, I mean, we talk about... we haven't talked about it, but we should have. Like Odell Beckham being a leader or an issue, more so whatever he was. But with Daniel Jones being a leader, I'll tell you what, your head coach stepped up to the plate and said, "Put it on me. I'll deal with the players, but you put it on me. I'm a big guy. I could take it." And I gotta say, if you have a leader that appreciates and exhibit the example of integrity, accountability, you guys are good. That owner, I swear to God, if I was the owner of Philly, of the Eagles, I'd have been like 10-year extension. Boom. Accountability.
Well, listen, the Philly sports guy and myself, we both agree that, Doug has shown he's a great leader. He knows how to motivate these guys, and these guys play for him. Where we criticize him has been the game planning and the play calling. He loves to take control of the offense, and I get it. He's an offensive-minded guy. He was an offensive coordinator, but the play calling is not working right now, and he's not catering to Carson Wentz's strengths. The Philly sports guy and I see what Carson Wentz can be. We've seen the elite stuff from him, but there's just a disconnect right now with the play calling and Carson Wentz, and that's got to get fixed. But we agree, he's a good leader. He's won a Super Bowl. There's a reason why he won a Super Bowl. And the guys do show up to play with him. We'll see what happens at the end of this season, but I will agree with you there.
All right, and I'm going to call it there. All right, because I got to already buy a shirt of his and wear it on my show here.
Oh, man. Hey, my face is gonna look so good on your chest. Oh, I can't wait.
All right, there you go. I let it.
What is it? Oh yeah, you follow me on TikTok, right?
I've seen you. I might do. Because of obviously the Philly sports guy.
Well, if you do, hit me a message and I'll follow you right back.
I got you. Man.
And maybe you could get a shirt too. You guys would be twinning.
I'm down to support anyone who's out here grinding, my guy.
I appreciate that.
Where else could they find you? Just real quick, where else could they find you?
Oh, I appreciate that. Basically anywhere. Instagram, Sneaky G-Man. TikTok, Sneaky G-Man 11. YouTube, Sneaky G Man. Twitch, Sneaky G Man. There's 2 N's. Facebook, Sneaky G Man. What do you call it? Snapchat, Sneaky G Man. And also,
you can definitely find him on TikTok. If you know me on TikTok, you can hear Sneaky G because he loves right now. He's rubbing my nose in it right now. He's rubbing my nose in it right now.
Guys, that's why we love the NFC East.
Right. Hey, and tell me you love that video of you just sitting there when it was playing Oh Happy Day. Please tell me you love that one. That was classic.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What about the age like
he's
wine?
sitting there doing happy day, and I'm sitting there just going, all painted up still. He's playing his songs. I get it. I listen, I take my beating.
Right.
I take my beating. And that's what happened.
And as did I. I sang the song. Not
very well. and with the guy with the Dallas Cowboys fan behind me with the poop, in his mouth.
Oh no, that was a Philly fan. Come on, that was the Eagles. That's part of your guys' family. That's your guy.
Not part of my family. Like I said, I'd have known better. Anyway, CTG, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh man,
I really do appreciate it.
Hey guys, last but not least, let's go Giants.
Nope, you don't get it. Later, we don't do that here. Later. Thanks, CTG.
Talk to you, man. Take care, brother.
All right, you guys have a good fun. Be good.
Take care, man. Say it.
Go!
No,
he doesn't get that play. He doesn't get that play. Anyways, so I mean, we've already gone over an hour here, and I could feel like I could talk for another half hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours on how angry I am.
This loss stings.
It does, and it's one of these things where, like, it's funny because we didn't even get a chance to touch on it, but the Eagles today have announced that no fans are going to be in the stadium from here on out, and which hurts me because I have tickets for the Seattle game. I have a bunch of friends coming in from Seattle for this game. I was excited to be able to rub their nose in it that we were going to beat them this year, and it's not going to happen that way. And even in the process of this, like, I was considering going out to Cleveland for this game, and I don't know that it's even a good idea to do that right now because of everything that's happening. So I want to wish to everybody, hey, listen, in the midst of all this, we're still in the middle of this pandemic, and some people it doesn't affect, some people it does affect. Please be safe out there. It's very important. It's like, make sure that you are paying attention to the elderly. If you have a grandmother, grandfather, grandparents, older parents, just check up on them, make sure that they're doing well. Like I said, we're not out of this woods yet. And, like I said, we're all going to get through this. It's just going to take some time. And it sucks. It sucks. In the midst of all this, that we're going to be isolated again. It seems like that we're headed towards that way.
Yeah,
but
it definitely sucks. It was some bad news today. I mean, I had playoff tickets for the Union. I was ready to go. Well, I mean, we'll still see. I'm assuming they're gonna announce that as well. But look, it sucks. But we just got to get through this pandemic. I'm over COVID. I want COVID to go away. And I just feel like we're almost there. We just got to do our part. And all I'm gonna say, guys, wear your mask. Wash your hands, and like the Philly sports guy said, just be aware of your surroundings. Just be aware of them. That's all.
And check up on the people that you love. You know what I mean? That's really the most important thing. It's like I found out just recently that I lost another friend to this disease, and it was, it's scary when you think of it like that. Like, I got it, and I was able to get over it pretty quickly. I know a number of people that was able to get over it. But now I have somebody on the other side of that list where they didn't get over it, and they did pass away because of this. So we want to make sure that we're still safe and we're doing our things properly, and just making sure that we keep our loved ones close, especially during this time, because ultimately you never know when something's going to happen. That's why we're not even together tonight. So it's, and I miss you. I miss you.
I know. I want to be down there. You got the Monday Night Football behind you. I want to take a peek there.
Somebody kicked an extra point. It looks like
Vikings. I was going to take the Vikings tonight, but I was told by a smart person not to take Kirk Cousins on primetime football. So
that is definitely a good call. Don't do that. Don't do that. Kirk Cousins is always good at pooping the bed. The bed. So.
Yes,
and for Pinga over here talking about having Deuce as a head coach, no, he ain't ready yet. I like Deuce. I like Deuce a lot. He ain't ready for a head coaching job yet. But anyways, guys, hey, listen, everybody be safe out there. Another Birds breakdown in the books. And hopefully next week we got something a lot more exciting to say about it. We are still in first place. And I tell you, I hope that they watch this show because, like I said, I bring it every play of every game, every Sunday, and I need them to do the exact same thing. If we're going to get anywhere in this season, they got to be able to do exactly. They got to just be able to play their game. Play Eagles football. Play Eagles football. I'm tired of watching just weakness, straight weak sauce. I don't want to see weak sauce anymore. I want to see Eagles football.
Yes.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Amen, brother. Well, hopefully next week we can celebrate a win, but not just a win, but I want to see like some inspired football. These next 5 games, we'll know a lot about these Eagles because these are 5 good teams in the NFL. So we will see what happens. You guys enjoy your week here. Keep your heads up. Stay positive. Stay safe. Stay sanitary. And, of course, we'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Yeah.
Awesome.